So Senator Gillibrand made it clear today she plans to take on Trump, and as one of her key focal points, Julian Castro also went after the president at a campaign event. How much do you think that not being Trump, anti-Trump message should be the pitch?
It shouldn't be the entire pitch, Jake. I mean, that's only going to get Democrats so far. You can't continue to just be anti-Trump. You got to be able to talk about the solutions and what actually you will do if you win, how you will govern, how you will look out for the American people. It's clear. Everybody got the memo. Democrats, by and large, are anti-Trump. No surprise there. So tell us what you're going to do.
And that's something they can all agree on. The challenge here is that I welcome more people to primaries. I think that's a good and healthy process. But they're running against each other for a Democratic nomination, so they need to distinguish themselves. I don't think the identity politics is a winning case for Gillibrand or anyone, really. It's about the issues. And I think we certainly have immigration, we have income inequality, we have gay rights or some of these issues that some of these candidates are coming for. They need to show the contrast. They have to show that they have a great personal story, they have a political ideology that connects, and the power to connect, because at the end of the day, they have to take on Donald Trump, and he's going to be a tough challenger.
And I think, you know, it's kind of intellectually lazy at this point to label anything that has to do with womanhood or LGBTQIA or anything with black and brown people as identity politics. The only bucket of identity politics that have been acceptable over the last 4 years are folks who are targeting white blue-collar workers or white conservatives that support Donald Trump or you know, anyway, the alt-right, as it's been called. So I think it's unfortunate for us to continue to marginalize those issues in that way.
Well, let me ask you a question. Kirsten Gillibrand, when she was a member of the House representing the Albany area, she was much more conservative than she is now. She had an A rating from the NRA. She talked about sanctuary cities.
Right.
You know, then she became the senator of New York and became more progressive. How much will that damage her? How much should it damage her? Are people not allowed to evolve and change?
No, so she is the only person probably to go from A rating from the NRA to resistance hero, right? But look, she is doing the straddle that both parties have to do, which is you have to take care of the base, and you do have to speak to a more middle America, more conservative, more working class, and a lot of white voters that the Democrat Party lost in the last election. She had more credibility doing that when she was more conservative, but she has laid the groundwork for a long time. I will give her that, so it looks more like a genuine evolution than it does super expedient. And I think she also she could be potentially sort of a Me Too candidate because she's been very consistent on those issues. And in the Democratic primary, those fights could get a little ugly, but that could be something that she could press some advantage on.
And clearly her team made the calculation, which I don't think is a bad one when you're talking about the primary, is to go from being a more moderate candidate to more far left for the race for the Democratic nomination. But make no mistake about it, whoever, once they do win their nomination, they're going to go more to the middle to take on the president.
I mean, she did ask, at least I read that she asked Wall Street for permission first. I mean, she went to court some of her Wall Street folks. So, you know,
well, she does represent Wall Street. We should also point out.
But first, go to the everyday people in the country before you go to Wall Street.
Well, I want to point out.
Lines are forming.
Well, that's fair enough. There is a historical nature of this. There will probably be 5 women candidates. We already have Gillibrand, Warren, and Kamala Harris as definitely running. And then you see Amy Klobuchar is thinking seriously about it. Tulsi Gabbard has said she's definitely running. This is the first time in American history that more than one woman is running for the nomination of a party. Now we have potentially 5.
Yeah, and just to be clear, Kamala Harris is not formally announced.
Not yet.
But
we all expect that she will.
Tiptoeing and hinting, and there may be an announcement on Dr. King's birthday or holiday.
She wrote a book.
I mean,
Enough said.
Yeah. Well, not everybody who writes books runs for president.
Let's take the leap of faith that she's going to run. Now we have 5 women theoretically. That's big.
And potentially first black woman, the last black woman who ran for president and had a decent chance, was up against a historic amount of misogyny and sexism. I'm thinking about Shirley Chisholm, who has inspired so many of us. So Kamala Harris is.
I can't believe you're ignoring Carol Moseley.
And Carol Moseley.
No, I meant to say first. Maybe I didn't say first, but I was thinking about what she was up against as the first black woman in that role. Seriously, is significant.
And she made it very clear that she wasn't, that she was proud of being a black American and proud of being a woman, but that she was running for the people. And
Yeah.
that's really a
She
message
also
that
has
all
the
the
greatest.
candidates can take.
She also has the greatest portrait in the Capitol. and you
Oh,
should
no
Google it
question.
And slogan.
immediately.
Shirley Chisholm.
Yes.
Unbought, unbought.
Let's bring it back to 2020 if we can.
Sorry. It's just
Away
a
from
fact.
72.
And I'll say this for the Democrats, the good thing is these are not just people that check the woman box and say I'm running for president. They are all, each and every one of them are good and strong and solid candidates. I will acknowledge the Democrats have a strong bench, a lot of good qualified candidates. But at the end of the day, it will be a difficult challenge taking on Trump, but we do have a lot of good voices.
Yeah, this is a good. I think the Republicans had an impressive stable of candidates last time around. I think the Democrats are going to have that this time around.